Yeah. Hello. Yes, I'm confusing the shit out of everybody by having tabletop gaming on here. So, I hope everyone can hear me okay, which would be nice and useful. So, yes, I very much like the artwork in this game. So, okay, what we're doing this evening is I need pre-gens for Thursday's game of Teenagers from Outer Space in aid of Roll vs. Evil. Sorry about that, Molia. Um, as you can tell by the incredibly subtle way I have plastered Roll vs. Evil all over the stream. Because if we get an RTG game in, an R Talsorian game in, before the end of the month, they will donation match. So, exclamation mark RTG for how this is working, and exclamation mark Roll vs. Evil for an idea as to what we're doing and why we're doing it. So basically, any donations coming in for this, if they can go into my Ko-fi with the comment Roll vs. Evil, and then after the game on Thursday, I will donate the whole lot in one go to their Just Giving. Roll this evil. Actually, yeah, I can see that. And then there's just one receipt I have to forward to R Talsorian, and I can post publicly so everyone can see the amounts match. So you'll know that I'm basically keeping this honest. So what we're going to be doing is, like I said, I need characters, and if I create all the characters, it's going to all come out the same, basically. So, these are the sort of people you might expect to see in this game. Rolly Seville. I like that. So yeah, I'm after character names and I'm after suggestions, and if people want to dig out the dice, now's the time. Oh god, I had forgotten that. Okay. I'll let you read that to give you an idea of the sort of thing we're dealing with. We're creating honey nut clusters because since nobody bribed you not to. Perfect, fish. Perfect. Oh, that's a bugger, Sage. I'm sorry. Right. Give you an idea of the sort of style. No. Well, I will later. I'm not reading that bit out. It's plenty big enough on my screen. All kneel before Princess Karma. If you've ever seen Tenchi Muyo or Sayetsura or basically any harem show set in a high school, you pretty much know what you're getting into with this.
Thank you for the support. I appreciate it, and so does Drataka.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Oh my god, references to zap guns. Okay. We'll have a contest. Whoever captures and returns the lost stone will be my prince. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is a very silly game. I will tell you that for nothing. So, okay. We need to go to creating your very own teenager. Not all anime comedy has aliens, just the funniest. In that case, you still have a lot of options. Try psionic teenagers, angst-ridden kids with giant robots, or the ever-popular magical girlfriend next door or in your VCR or in your closet. Most of these have the same weird powers you'd find used by an alien. Ha! I liked Tamira, that was fun. You don't have to use the background we've given you in this book. If you wanted, for example, you could set a teenager's game in the super scientific mega city built on the ruins of a blasted Tokyo, where everyone has superpowers, giant robots, and an army of mirror shade wearing flunkies at their beck and call. Nah, forget that. Nobody would ever buy that as the plot of an anime series. Ouch. Ouch. Okay. So, creating your very own teenager. This isn't as hard as it sounds. After all, your parents did it and they haven't even read this book. We assume. So your first step in your teenager creation process is to pick what kind of teenager you're going to be. You can either be a youthful ambassador of galactic goodwill, alien kid from Certis Minor looking for a chance to party, or a young representative of mankind, human kid from around here looking for a chance to party. Teenagers come in the flavours of human, and aliens. Aliens come in near human, not very near human, and real weirdies. So humans are basically human. Zipping back up here. They are people just like you. We're making a heck of an assumption, but work with us, okay? They could do. I draw the line at animated acne, though. I have trypophobia. They don't have flying saucers, weird alien powers, or even look all that strange. So why play a human when you can do that right now and you don't even need a copy of the book? As a human, you belong to the coolest race in the galaxy. See, before the aliens discovered Earth, there was absolutely no teen culture anywhere in the galaxy. You were born, hatched, extruded, or whatever, grew to adulthood, and ended up doing useful, productive things like blowing up solar systems and taking people to meet your leader. You've already established that Honey is an extraterrestrial cat girl. Okie doke. There was no fast food, there were no shopping malls, nobody drag raced space cruisers, there was no rock and roll, there was only a vast whirling nebula of infinite stars spinning in cosmic emptiness, occasionally punctuated with a dull boom as someone somewhere accidentally detonated a planet. It was a dark time in the galaxy. When the aliens got here, they went crazy over human culture. They bought blue jeans, they bought rap records, they exported billions of tons of soggy hamburgers, greasy french fries, and watered-down milkshakes throughout the Galactic Federation. They also discovered the opposite sex, which was a pretty revolutionary idea when you consider most of them were asexual, or grown in tubes, or went through some disgusting process where they exploded out of someone else's chest and had to evolve through 3 or 4 really repulsive stages that nobody would ever really want to date. Billions of ghoulies. Really? The Universal Galactic Monetary Unit, based on the atomic weight of a microscopic yellow slug found only in the trash cans of a backwater planet of the Bilge Quadrant, was squandered like popcorn, as aliens of all descriptions experimented with perms, makeup, false eyelashes, and Fredericks of Hollywood bustomatics in the pursuit of sex appeal. Once the aliens got it straight that petting had nothing to do with the application of the palm to the top of a sophon's head, there was no stopping them. The upshot is, most aliens think anything a human does has just naturally got to be the greatest thing since home fusion garbage disposal. Anything. If you tell an alien that it's stone deaf to wear Bermuda shorts and drive an Edsel, the odds are pretty good the alien will go for it. This phenomenon, known as the human fake-out, is one of the main reasons that mankind managed to talk the Galactics out of their advanced technology faster than a used car salesman can unload a $59 Lexus. As a human Tina, you received the ultimate benefits of this effect. Your alien pals will hang on your every word, waiting breathlessly, those of them who breathe, that is, as you explain to them all about the intricacies of Earth culture. No matter how big a squid you are to the rest of mankind, you can rest assured somewhere in the galaxy there's a guy who will wear even dumber clothes than you do because you told him it was okay. Who said there wasn't a grand design in the universe? Yes, teenagers were indeed only invented in the 1950s. You were a kid and then you were an adult previously. And in the 50s, suddenly, there were these people with, who were staying in education longer, had disposable income, and suddenly were a demographic to be marketed to. So that's humans. Aliens. Anytime you throw a huge party in a really big place, you're going to get a lot of incredibly weird people showing up unannounced. Since space is obviously the biggest place in the universe, that means, let's face it, there's a lot of weird people out there. In fact, there's so many types of aliens that eventually the scientists threw in the towel and lumped them all into 3 big categories, based on how much they looked like humans and whether the aliens in question had a tendency to send the scientists scurrying for the nearest bomb shelter. In the terse, exacting language of big science, these categories are defined as near humans, not very near humans, and real weirdies. Near humans are aliens who look so human they can often pass for the real thing, important if you want to sneak into the movies without causing a riot. Near humans are distinguished from real humans by minor things like small tails, pointed ears, small horns, weird hair, iron body colours, fur, or other minor social embarrassment. Mr. Spock from Star Trek, for example. Not very near humans are aliens with roughly humanoid forms, but who also either have a lot of really odd variations or a large number of smaller differences. In a dark alley at midnight, dressed in a trench coat and hiding in the dense fog, a not very near human might pass as your Uncle Ernie who was run over by the wheat combine at an early age. Maybe. Examples are E.T., the Predator, or the Greys who keep turning up on the X-Files. Real weirdies haven't a snowball's chance in the blast furnace of passing in a crowd. How big's the tail for honey? That's a sentence. Because short tail, and she can be near human. Long tail, and she's not very near human. So that is the decision. You suppose it could be a short tail. Yep, honey, as in the sticky stuff. No tentacles. No, limited tentacles for not very near humans if you can hide them. Otherwise, you're real weirdy. This, for example, is a near human. Oh, okay, she's near human, so if she's got that, then that counts. Fish. If Rainby counts as a near human, then Honey does. Your brain wants to pronounce it Huni. Well, maybe that's how it's supposed to be pronounced, and nobody on Earth can pronounce it normally. There's another near human. I think ability to wear that bikini. Ow. Okay. Every teenager has 8 statistics. We're all gamers here. We know how this works. So I've got this so I can copy it. Yeah, outfit clearly not made for humans. And obviously some kind of weird static cling to keep the boots up. Okay, so we have smarts. If I need to explain any of these, yell, but they all should be fairly self-explanatory. Bod. Okay. RWP is relationship with parents or authorities. This is how well you get along with the people who pay your rent or run your intergalactic police agency or whatever. Teenagers from outer space assumes that everyone in the game has a somewhat stable nuclear or thermonuclear family somewhere. Relationship with parents can change from time to time depending on what favours you've asked for, whether you've gotten into trouble lately, but it can never be higher than you originally roll. Your parents can only like you so much. Luck. If you can't figure out what luck is, you'll obviously never have been through high school. You'll use this stat when you've tried everything else and it didn't work. Driving is a stat, not a skill. A teenager without a vehicle is a squid. See also jerk, dweeb, loser, poser, nerd, dip, etc. Your driving stat's what you'll use to pilot your car, flying saucer, or any other kind of vehicle. You need a driving stat just to get to Earth at all, unless you're willing to suffer the major social humiliation of having your parents drop you off. Looks. This stat is, of course, relative to what species the teenager is. Clean, sharp teeth, a nicely polished coat of wax on the scales, and new sunglasses perched jauntily on your eye stalks may not cut it in certain social circles. Looks count a lot towards your ability to be socially accepted, get dates, and win the Miss Universe contest. Cool. You can be good looking and still be a jerk. Or be as ugly as a Regalian bat toad and still look great in the right sunglasses. Your cool stat is more than a measurement of how well you wear your clothes, if you wear them at all. It's how unshakable you are in the face of major disaster, like inviting 2 dates to the same prom. Or whether you'll say the right thing when you accidentally land your Skyhoofer Mark II on top of the principal's Cadillac. Yeah. Bonk. She has a robot mecha cat. Excellent. Does it convert into a spaceship? Bonk is the most important stat of all. If people got killed in Teenagers from Outer Space, it would be a miserable reflection on our violence-prone society. So in the classic tradition of animated cartoons, nobody ever gets killed, ever. Instead, they get bonked. Think of bonk as your ability to take punishment. You can get bonked anytime someone or something scores a hit on you, maybe with a great put-down, a really sneaky trick, a major social embarrassment, or a giant wooden mallet from the 5th dimension. Yeah. No, I've asked. They know. We figure the less chance you have of getting your teenager killed, the more interesting and potentially stupid things you'll do. If you have a 0% chance of getting killed, that gives you an infinite chance of doing lots of silly and fun things. So, those are the stats. Now, since fish wants to create honey, and I am not arguing, Sage, I wasn't gonna tell him. She wants to leave the planet. She'll need to ask Daddy if she can use the flying saucer at the weekend. Oh, did Honey get dropped off by Daddy? Oh dear. Oh dearie me. How big is the robot mecha cat? Just out of curiosity, is it literally sort of battle cat size? To be honest, Molly, yeah, that is an old one. Right. Examples of teenagers. Villa was the first alien foreign student ever to enroll at Kyoki Valley High. He was taken in by the Tanaka family, who have mixed feelings about the arrangement ever since, and lives in Tommy's room. Villa is the observer of the Frantic Four. You can depend on his wisecracking comments as well as his ability to turn into a 13-foot monster at will. I love Quali. Quali's great. You just live your life according to the old leather goddess of Phobos slogan, the filthy mind is a terrible thing to waste. Yes, did you pick up the chocolate? Quali, not very near human. Can't imagine why. When most teenagers come to Earth for the sights, Quali came for the shopping. For her, Earth is a real bargain basement, where for only a lousy fusion generator, used no less, you can actually get 200 pairs of designer jeans, 50 pairs of Converse, and the entire sportswear selection of in major department store. The Frantic Four can always count on Quali to show up wherever the clothes are hot and the prices are low. They can also, thanks to her powers, count on her to be the only girl at the prom with 3 dates. We've established that bonk is a type of tobacco. What else do we need to know? I haven't played Leather Goddesses of Phobos in ages. God, I used to have... it's Infocom, isn't it? I used to have the collected set of text games. They put it out as a box set. Okay, so back to the stats. Every time you get clobbered or zapped, your bonk stat is reduced by a certain amount. When it hits 0, your teenager is reduced to standing around looking stupid and maybe smoking slightly from the effects of a zap gun or reeling from a really sarcastic remark. For one entire turn, while everyone else gets to do something interesting. For every point of bonk stat lost below 0, you're out for an additional turn. Once you've set out the required number of turns, your bonk stat is instantly returned to normal. How do you determine how much bonk you've taken? We'll fill you in later. Right. This is rolled. So, Fishy, dig out a d6. That's the point they turn into you. Now, is that you actually immediately after the lamppost? Doink, you're standing there with the birds flapping around your head. Okay, so fishy. If you want to roll, I need 8d6 rolls off you. You roll in order. Yeah. And you don't re-roll. Oh. Okay. I don't mind doing them. Oh, I hope you're okay. Okay, so let's do this. Smarts 5. Bod 3. Bod is a mark of your athleticism and how much damage, and generally how physical a character you are. Oh dear. 2, relationship with parents. I'm guessing she's asked for a few too many. 2, luck. Somebody saw fish coming. 2, driving. I think the robot cat may actually be sentient. Okay. 4 looks. 6 cool. And 4 bonk. So, she's near human. She's got a set of stats. I was going to say you can move points around within those stats, so long as they never go over 6 and they never go below 1. But to be honest, that looks a lot like a very fishy set of stats to me. The higher the roll, the better. For example, a teenager with a 6 bod stat can safely attempt to balance on top of the Statue of Liberty while juggling 20 flaming torches. A teenager with a 1 would need extensive preparation to get out of bed in the morning and then should have paramedics team on standby just in case. Okay, Sage. So, let's leave those as is. And if Fish wants to tweak Honey a bit, then he can. Hang on a sec. Why am I doing that when I can just do this? Yeah, I'm going to let him tweak his Honey off camera. Yeah. Obviously, I don't want to get banned on Twitch. Okay, so once you've got stats, then you can have knacks. Knacks are particular abilities connected with each of your basic stats. Think of it this way. Suppose you have a really high smarts. If you had to fix a malfunctioning Tachyon Beryllium matchbook cover, you might be able to apply up to 6 whole points of smarts to your die roll. But if you'd spent 10 years in the Rigelian University Technical College mastering the knack of fixing Tachyon Beryllium matchbooks, you should logically be a bit better at it. Knacks reflect the fact that your teenager has spent some time mastering the ability to do certain things better than others. When you have a knack in something, you might be able to add a few extra points to your basic stat. Each knack has to be connected to a basic teenager stat. For example, the knack of flying saucer piloting would be connected to driving. You can sort of have as many knacks as you want. To determine how many you have and how high they are, it's roll a d6, and then you can have from 1 to 3 in each knack you want to have. So you can have up to a maximum of 6 points worth of knack. Which sounds ruder every time I say it, I have to say. So, let's see how many knacks she's got. Of course she has. Naturally. 6 points. Okay. Knacks are not quite like skills in other games. In as much as, although they have a suggested list. Pardon me. Of knacks, they're not actually a skills list. So you can come up with your own. So, for example, clobbering, convince anyone to get a date. Convince anyone, get a date. Sweet talk your mum. Look good wearing shades. Shoot big ray gun. Sneak, dance. I don't see shoot big nasty thing. Shoot really big gun. Play air guitar, figure things out, fix it, weird science, perfect makeup, never look rumpled, dazzling smile, master of kung fu even. Juggle, keep your balance, hunch, remember trivia, flirt outrageously, party hard, know about alien stuff, know about Earth stuff, whine and wheedle, resist fast talk, flying saucer piloting. Those are examples. So I'm just checking who Honey is. Alien cheerleader, I believe someone is. Yep. So, she is a near-human cat girl cheerleader. She's got 6 points of knacks. What I might do is I will leave Honey there on the grounds that it'll be fun to have Fish come up with her knacks. And you can do that when he's feeling a bit better. So, that's honey nut clusters. So, anybody want to go next? Anyone got any ideas? By the way, if you want a character who, can shapeshift, so at least they can, ride a BMX and attend classes safely, for example, that would be a knack. As given them for Kano, who is mostly half fish. Okay, Knight, I need to know, are you an alien or are you a human? And what about your character? It's really dry in here today. Yeah. You feel you should embrace this growing sense of dread instead of trying to fight it. Okay. So, character is an alien. Have you got a name for them? Dan DeFino. Okay. Right. Near human, not very near human, real weirdy. Dan DeFino. Oh! Yeah! I like. Version of Damned If I Know. Sam. Real weirdy. Okay. So I need 8d6 rolls in a row. You want a squiddy? Okay. When Hollywood filmed Mars Needs Women, this was the guy they were thinking of. A dismal failure at dating his own species back home, Geeks has come to Earth seeking a girlfriend, dubbed the Tentacular Terror by his female classmates at Kyokuga Valley High. His dating technique leaves anything to be desired, but he keeps on trying. Very trying, in fact. He's kind of adorable. It's the four-legged dungarees that kind of appeals to me. Three, 1, 4. Right, okay. 2, 6, 5, 4, 3. Okay. So, he's got 3 smarts, 1 bod, 4 relationship with parents. What a suck up. 2 luck. Oh god, I see this as not being a very lucky class. 6 driving. That's awesome. 5 looks, 4 cool, and 3 bonk. If you would like to move any of those points around, let me know. Yeah, 6 driving is very nice, yes. I do love Alvin. Can you swap the 1 and the 6? You can indeedy. So he can drive at 1. And he's got a bod 6. Right, okay. I had forgotten. Nax, swim like a fish. Surf. Play a mean Joe Satriani guitar riff. Hi ho. Okay. Right. And the 4 and the 2. Yep, so 2 relationship with parents and 4 luck. Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. Which would you like to be 2? Relationship with parents or cool? Oh, you're happy with that. Okay. Roll us a d6 and we'll see how you come out with your knacks. Not what I meant to say. Another one. Oh my god. Okay. So you can have 1 to 3 in your knacks. And they will apply to a stat. So it does work a lot like Witcher and stuff. Rolls are stat plus skill or stat plus knack plus a D, I think it's a D6. So, and you can have multiple knacks attached to a stat. So if you want to focus a load of stuff on boards, that's fine. Otherwise, have a think about what kind of knacks you would like and let me know. While you're thinking about it, let's go off into examples. For example, you roll a 4, you decide to have 3 knacks, shoot big zap gun, 2 points, look good in sunglasses, 1 point, and con your kid brother out of his allowance, 1 point. Whenever you decide to hit the little bro up for a few bucks, you roll 1 point, add your smart stat, let's say it's a 4, and add another for your knack. Of course, your little brother might have a smarts of 6, and after losing a lot of allowance along the way, the knack of resist con job by my big sister. Squirt ink, that I would say that's a bod. But yes, things like the shoot insert, unlikely weapon here, drive vehicle of whichever type, look cool wearing shades, dazzling smile, flirt outrageously, party. Should we give you a squeeze through unfeasibly small space? Ah, he's more octopoid. Okay, that again is going to be a bod. Okay. Look good in shades is on cool. So, you can have up to 6. Shape-shifting is a knack, yeah, Sam. So you can either have those 3 and distribute. Yep, that's it. Yep, 2 points in each. That's fine. So you've got squirt ink 2, squeeze through unfeasible small space 2, and look good in shades 2. Okay. Let me save these because otherwise it's going to be really embarrassing. And not in that section. Yeah. Won't stop people calling him Squiddy. Oh, I bet that burns. How much time does he spend lecturing people on the fact that he's not a squid? He is, in fact, octopoid. Okay. So, that's damned if I know. There is a rule, by the way, for when too much is too much. Totally bending the laws of statistics as you know it. You managed to get 8 straight 6s in a row. Then, unbelievably, you got another 6 for your knack and put it all into the knack of get a date with anyone I want. Boy, is your teenager going to be incredible. Well, maybe. In most games, the higher your stat or knacks, sometimes called skills, the better your character does. In teenagers, just in real life, we reward mediocrity by grading on the curve. This means if you make a successful stat or knack check too high, it will start to backfire on you. For example, the girl you whilst out to the movies falls madly in love with you. She starts following you everywhere, scaring away all your other dates. She spray paints love notes to you on the side of the gym. She gets it on the school PA system and begs you to marry her. You get the idea. A smart teenagers player never ever lets his stats or knack or stats get too high, or else. How high is too high? You're never going to know. I know, because they put it upside down and back to front in the rulebook. You have to read it with a mirror, but you lot won't. Okay. Let me just check something. Okay, so alien powers. One of the things that makes alien teeners really alien is many of them have abilities or powers to match their bizarre appearances. What makes teenagers from outer space unique is the utter silliness of those powers. We're not talking bug-eyed Martians with death ray beams here. We're talking cute near-human cheerleaders with the ability to bury you in 13 feet of popcorn instantly. Welcome back, Sage. Join us now as we take a quick tour through the world of stupid superpowers, magical mayhem, and psionic silliness. Zap. This is the ability to throw 2 points of high voltage bonk at people, friends and foe alike. Useful for solving the energy crisis. Fly. This allows you to fly as long, as high, and as fast as you want. In certain situations, a major distraction may mess up your coordination and you'll fall down very fast. Shape change. This is the ability to take on the shape of any animal or thing you've ever seen, as long as it's roughly the same size as you are. You can turn into a frog, for example, but it'll be a really big frog. For some really gross ideas on the subject, go and rent a copy of John Carpenter's The Thing. Breathe fire. This allows you to breathe out a cone of fire, 2 bonk, just like your basic fairy tale dragon. Scales and fangs are optional. Force field. Oh, actually, let me just check something. Oh my god, we've got all these. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Force fields. This ability creates a bubble of impenetrable bonk-resisting force. Big enough to fit you and 2 other friends. Just remember that it works both ways before you shoot off that mega bazooka you're carrying. Pass me up the bazooka nuka. Monster out. Allows you to transform into a 50-foot silly-looking rubber monster at will. Sort of like an instant Godzilla meets the smog creature. You can look any way you like, but it may better not be too gross or you won't have any friends left. While monstered out, you also have the ability of super strength. Super strength. Need to move that building out of the way? No problem, if you can get a grip. With super strength, you too can do all the comic book weightlifting the average super type can do. Who needs red tights anyway? Super speed. With this power, you can move faster than anyone else in the game, and usually the one who gets stuck going down to the corner for a six-pack of soda. Unless, of course, everyone else has super speed, in which case you're back to square one. Talk to aliens. This allows you to talk to anyone. Rocks, birds, trees, even your Aunt Sally, who's always talking about the little blue people who live in the boom closet. We didn't say the conversation would be interesting, just intelligible. Bounce. Allows you to bounce off any hard surface, taking no bonk and rebounding up to 20 feet in the air. People with bounce are always the life of the party, especially around the volleyball net. Oh boy. Bonk drain. Really, guys? Allows you to drain away 2 points of bonk from another player. This is considered very rude. And either use it yourself or give it to someone else. Deep freeze. You can go for the finger of frost and freeze people solid. Teleport. Zip up to you and up to 4 friends to any place you've been to before. You cannot teleport parts of things, however, and you have to go along with whatever you teleport. Telemove. Telekinesis. The ability to move objects with your very mind. I'm just checking that. Telephone. The ability to contact anyone in the universe at any time and place merely by reciting their phone number and dialing an imaginary phone. Okay. Oh my god, the obligatory body swap episode. Yep, swap shop. Right. Oh, that's what three's a crowd means. The ability to create up to 2 exact duplicates of yourself. Right, okay. Boy, girl, boy. The ability to instantly change into an opposite sex version of yourself. If female, you instantly become a really handsome, super confident guy. If originally male, you're suddenly the cutest pairing of X chromosomes ever to grace the gene pool. The catch, your clothes often don't change with you. Someone's been watching Ranma Half. By the way, I'd like to point out this game was developed in 1997. So if there's any clunkiness, that's basically why. Read minds. I think we don't need to go into that. Okay. As an alien teen, you have the possibility of possessing up to 3 weird and unearthly abilities, just like in any low-budget sci-fi movie. So, to determine what you get, hop over to the Alien Powers table. Pick any 3 tables. These are... right, okay. So, you pick 3 tables, and then you roll a d6. To roll on those tables. So the first one is basically movement powers. So travel powers, if we're going for a Marvel-y feel. Attack powers. Then it goes a bit more weird. So you got nothing, force field, shape change, super strength, talk to aliens, or telephone. Then swap shop, get small, temporal funk, which stops time for up to a minute. Nobody home, or three's a crowd. And the last one is boy, girl, boy, nothing, read minds, nothing, magical girl. Oh my god, your wishes come true. You can make things happen up to 3 times a day by doing something cute, like wrinkling your nose, waving your candy stripe wand, or some other horribly cute thing. There's a reason why there aren't a lot of magical guys. Of course, just because you wished it doesn't mean there won't be a lot of terrible repercussions. Okay, table 2. Zap. Table 3. Shape change. Makes sense. Table 4. Nothing. Okay. Right. Strange human powers men know all about. What? Let me just check. Right, okay, so they are just you get that. They don't have levels. Oh my god. Very close to copyright infringement. If the power you're lusting for isn't in the above lists, try out a few suggestions on your T-Force referee. Here they have the final decision. By now you may have already tie-dyed the cat, so you may want to move up to microwaving his dice. Okay. You now have an image of this octopoid alien team being vaguely translucent with electrical energy zapping around inside. Actually, Moliere, that would be bang on. Yeah. Traits. Outstanding habits or peculiarities of a teenager. Oh, God help us. Each teenager has 3 basic traits that more or less define not only their habits and preferences, but also the teenager's worldview. For example, Raimi has 3 outstanding traits that affect her worldview. She's incredibly curious, which gets her and her friends into a lot of trouble. Very stubborn, making it tough to convince her not to do something stupid. And insanely jealous. You can just guess what trouble that causes. Although Raimi is beautiful, clever and lovable, her traits are going to give any interested suitor something to worry about. You can pick up to 3 traits from our handy traits list or badger your referee into allowing you to invent your own, thus earning the label of being difficult, obnoxious and a pain in the neck. Consider your teenager's traits carefully before you pick them and make sure you ask yourself, can I really act like a paranoid party animal with an affinity for eating cars? Where's the table? Give the table, want the table. Oh, there's a few traits, right, okay. Insanely jealous, girl guy, crazy, forgetful, sneaky, stuck up, terrible temper, shy, pessimistic, curious, stubborn, always cheerful, greedy, proud, cowardly, cheap, humble, manic, trusting, abrasive, tomboy, girlish, manic, practical joker, eats plastic, eats cars, party animal, paranoid, lazy, weird phobias, talks to trees, or schizoid. I'm not even going near that last one. Yep, you get to pick. And if nothing on that list appeals to you, Sam, I wouldn't know about teenagers being potentially a pain in the neck. So, take a moment out for my voice to recover. A bit worried about the guy who dresses like the Punisher on his way to a club in Seattle in 2020. That's a bloody elven street samurai. Okay, yep, that's fair. So, always cheerful, curious. Yeah, I see no way that could possibly go wrong. Excellent stuff. Okay. So, you're allowed. Great, everyone's going to be adopting your bloody character. Again. How do you do this? Allowance. Unless you're planning to spend the majority of your teenager's game mooching off your long-suffering friends, you're going to need some allowance. Just like in real life, you know what your parents earn has nothing to do with what they're willing to give you for pocket money. Yeah, your king may be the father of Ugasai 4, but he may be the king of Ugasai 4, but if he gets into some weird head trip about self-reliance, you could find yourself doomed to working weeknights in the McDoggies on Sirius 5. To determine your allowance, roll both dice and multiply by 5, so 2d6 times 5. Robinson, nice to see you. Well, we've got a near-human catgirl who rides around on the back of a cybernetic cat. We've got a shape-shifting octo squid. Robinson, are you likely to be available to join us on Thursday to play? And even if not, you are more than welcome to come through the... it's running from 7. It's probably going to be 7 till 10. Yeah, night. If you want to roll me 2d6 times 5, and we can sort out your weekly allowance for Dan. Okay. Oh my god, we have photocopiable money at the back of the book. Okay. 25. Okay. Five Wulong or whatever the hell it is. Okay. I will give people access to the gear list rather than going through them all now. Or I might just pick stuff that's appropriate. Ha ha. So, Robinson, do you have a couple of D6s to hand? Since you're here, we may as well do you next. Okay, so first off, are you human or are you alien? And what about your character? Right, how this works is, first off, you decide whether your character is going to be an alien or a human. You're creating a teenager. And if they're an alien, they come in near human, not very near human, as the example of the girl on screen, and real weirdy. So near human is something like her, or him. Needs to be human. Oh, you're going for protagonist syndrome. Excellent stuff. Okay. Oh yeah, they are just cruising that suable line and not actually crossing it. So, you have 8 stats, and you roll them in order, and they're a d6 each. So I need 8 d6 rolls off you, and then you can shift points around after they've been rolled. Yeah, this game once heard of subtlety, decided it wanted nothing to do with it. 8 individual d6s, yeah. Yes. This should be interesting. It's the person with probably the best grounding in the subject. Okay. So 6, 1, 4, 2, 6, 3, 3, 3. Okay, fine. Okay, so you've got 6 smarts, intelligence, 1 bod, which is all your physical skills, 4 relationship with parents, they quite like you, 2 luck. What is it with 2 luck? 6 driving, 3 looks, 3 cool, and 3 bonk, which is hit points, sort of. So that's what you've got. You can move points around between stats. You just rolled a nerd who basically can't get out of bed in the morning without a run-up. Yeah. Completely unathletic at the moment. Like, dangerously so. Average cool, average hits. Good relationship with parents. Not particularly lucky. Cracking driving. Your worst enemy is stairs. So yes, you can change those around if you wish, or you can move points rather, with a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 6 in everything. So, if you want to leave them as is, Time to move on to knacks, otherwise known as skills. So, roll me a d6. Can you swap driving and luck? Okay, yep, sure. Done. Yeah, this is by the same people who did Cyberpunk, so you may well recognise, although the specifics of what die you roll is different. The general design philosophy should be quite familiar. Luck is your failsafe, nothing else works, and it's all gone horribly wrong. So, Robinson, roll me a d6, please. And we'll find out how many skill/knack points you have. Just in the heart of the cards, yes. 6. Again! Okay, that's the third one in a row. I am now starting to think they're shenanigans. Okay. Now, knacks are tied to a stat. Yes, that luck stat indeed. And you can come up with your own, but I will give you the examples since you weren't here. So, clobbering, convince anyone, get a date, sweet talk parent, look cool wearing shades, shoot big ray gun, sneak, dance, play air guitar, figure things out, fix it, weird science, perfect makeup, never look rumpled, dazzling smile, master of kung fu, juggle, keep your balance, hunch, remember trivia, flirt outrageously, party hard, know about alien stuff, know about Earth stuff, whine and wheedle, resist fast talk, flying saucer piloting. So those sort of things are the sample skills. You can come up with your own. And you've got 6 points to spread between however many you want, up to a maximum of 6 at one, or up to 3 points in any individual. If your favourite skill isn't there, talk to your teenager's referee and ask him about inventing your own. If he refuses, threaten to tie-dye his cat. Righto. Yes. Up to 6 knacks skills. But they cap at 3, yes. Yeah. Slightly dubious at the tie-dyeing bit, tie-dyeing your referee's cat. Yes. Well, if you can wrap rags around a cat such that you could then tie-dye them, frankly, I am impressed. And you have a career as an animal groomer ahead of you. You need to stop thinking of references. Oh, I don't know. You are welcome to think of references. If that will help you build the character. Oh. Yes, PSA, do not attempt to tie-dye your cat. Be fine if I get the references. This book's from an era before yours. True. But I have access to Google. And you can genericise if need be. Oh, I meant to ask, is your protagonist male or female? Just out of curiosity. Or what gender is your protagonist, in fact? Which is entirely up to you. To the coin flip machine. Fair enough. Yes, bear in mind not everybody's as old as me. There are some youngsters. Coin said male. Okay. Okay, what would that be? Is that the ability to create plans? Or that they miraculously all come out as you predicted? Okay. Things going as calculated in a general sense. Okie dokie. So that, I think, is going to be a smarts. It's either going to be smarts or luck. Which would you prefer? To be fair, you missed like 98% of references in the Discord. Sorry. If you do get baffled and you want something to if you want explanations, do feel free to ask. Okay, so that's the forward planning end of things. Okay, and any more? Well, you've got at least one more. Because you can only put 3 points in, maximum. That's cool, good to know. I'd hate to have people feeling adrift and like they couldn't ask. You've seen Monty Python at least, that puts you in a decent dent. Yes, that gives you a chance, doesn't it? Monty Python, Blackadder, and Red Dwarf, and you're pretty much off to the races. We'll sort something out, Sam. Okay, so Robinson, what else would you like in the knack way? I feel like I should probably have backing music playing or something. But I don't want to have people interfere if they've got processing issues. Listening between music and me. Given the game has to be some kind of subcultural trope awareness knack, you need to justify your memes and meta knowledge. So, yes, that's going to be a new one. So, remember trivia would work. Or know about Earth stuff. Or you can come up with your own. I just hate leaving dead air. This is why I'm also moving when I'm looking between windows as much as I can, on the grounds that I don't want people to think the stream's frozen or something. But yes, I know, trope tracker, for example. You're always capable of pulling out an example from some obscure series you've been watching. Which, of course, will then cause everybody to hang on your every word because all the aliens think humans are cool. Okay. I think that's going to be a smarts again. So, are you going to have any more, or are you going to put 3 points into each? Oh, fair enough, Sam. Right. I reckon we've got time for another character. And then... Whoops. Oh, you have one more idea? Okay, yep, let's hear it. You have no idea what it'd be called, but that's the trope of pushing glasses when doing something smart, so something that makes him more convincing when doing so. Professional specs. I'm just noticing that basically everything's on smarts for this character. Flexing specs. I like that, actually. That works. Right. So are you going to have 2 in each, or jiggle your points around a bit? Always jiggle when you have the opportunity. Heh. Just a sneak glimpse, by the way, as to what I'm going to be using to actually run on Thursday. Yes, I have the fishing rules. Welcome back, Sam. And by the way, yes, that is a life path table for fish. Right. It's Robinson. 1 3, 2 in plan. Right, okay, gotcha. Sorry. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So... Yes. I'm worried that I know which one that is. Right, okay. We will gloss over the when too much is too much. You don't get alien powers because you're not an alien. However, you do get strange human powers men know all about. So what about us humans? We hear you wailing. Shut up, we snarl back, laying about us randomly with rolled up copies of the New York City phone book. Oh, ye of little faith. Every human automatically has one ability, no matter who he is or where he comes from. The power which has catapulted Earth from backwater planet to the universe to cultural exchange of the stars. There aren't, technically, but there could be. Fake out is the ability to tell an alien Tina almost anything about human culture and have them believe it. You can tell them snow is made in factories at the North Pole. You can explain that everyone on Earth wears rubber noses and red polka dot ties. He'll believe you. After all, you're from Earth and he isn't. There's a flip side to this, of course. If you tell your new near-human girlfriend that kissing is a perfectly acceptable human greeting, you may end up with her greeting all your friends whenever they drop by. And if your 12-foot tall zap gun toting alien buddy ever figures out that it isn't Earth tradition to chant ooga booga booga every time you enter a public place. Oh, that's not what I just typed. In addition to fake outs, humans also have access to some other powers of sort. Powers. To determine which your human Tina might have, roll 2d6, add the result, and compare the total with the humans only table. 2d6, please. Oh, that's cool, Sage. The TV show is a very, very good adaptation. And probably the most accessible. And I love all the animations. I love that computer animation was not up to it at the time, so they had to hand animate all the stuff to look computer generated. Yeah. Well, Robinson has fake out. Add them together. It's 2 to 12. Okay, you've got toughness. Toughness automatically adds 4 bonk to your bonk index, allowing you to shrug off a zap or deep freeze bolt that would total another player. Humans are pretty tough anyway because they've all grown up listening to their parents telling them how hard they had it when they were young. It had to pay off someday. Okay, so that puts your bonk above normal human. You have a bonk of 7. Yes, the Babelfish is adorable. Unless you're playing the text adventure game, in which case you will just swear and cry trying to get the Babelfish from the dispenser. Dear God. Yes, I am not going to make any comments about Robinson's protagonist being highly bonkable because that would just be wrong. Right. Last minute wrap ups. So, your traits. Hello, Chrono. So, Robinson, you have 3, or your character rather, has 3 outstanding traits. I managed to actually get the Babelfish and onto the Heart of Gold once. Molia, I have no idea how because I never did it again. Traits are outstanding habits or peculiarities of being a teenager. Each teenager has 3 basic traits that more or less define their worldview and preferences. So, Robinson, insanely jealous. Girl or guy crazy, forgetful, sneaky, stuck up, terrible temper, shy, pessimistic, curious, stubborn, always cheerful, greedy, proud, cowardly, cheap, humble, manic, trusting, abrasive, tomboy, girlish, manic again? Practical joker, eats plastic, eats cars, party animal, paranoid, lazy, weird phobias, talks to tree, schizoid. Going to need a context for that one. Hang on. Yeah, I think you can, Molia. It's still online in colour now and with actual graphics and stuff. It says just making sure that her window is not going to pop up. Early teens with grandiose... Oh, right. Okay, delusions of grandeur then. Oh, that would be... Yeah, I like that, yes. Yes. It's not, but it can be. You can come up with your own. Exactly, yeah. Delusions of grandeur would do it. And I can include that. This is not... this isn't stuff that gets rolled. This is more role-playing tweaks. So, that's one. You need two more. And thank you for the hydrate. You love the anime title of Regardless of My Delusions of Grandeur, You Want to Date. Fair enough. It's kind of a manifesto, isn't it? I just love the fact that so far this harem show, basically, we've got a octosquid, a cat girl, and a human boy. The actual translated title is Love, Junibu, You, and Other Delusions. Oh, okay, that works. I slightly took some liberties on the transliteration, but... So yeah, two more traits, please, Robinson. Yeah, Sam, you have my sympathies on that. It's hard. Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologise for putting you on the spot a bit here. Not necessarily sorry, but I do apologise. Knight may possibly have a shape-shifting octo squid teenager. We go with cautious. Okay. Fish. Yes. Ah, sophisticated. Okay. Yes. Honey Nut Clusters is a cat girl cheerleader. I believe she's a cheerleader. Chrono, yeah, sure. D6s. Couple of D6s. Combination that logically doesn't make sense, but you've got this. No, that's cool. So, the last thing I need you to do then, Robinson, is... Frame fry. 2d6 times 5, please. $40. Good lord, your character is loaded. Okay, that's your allowance. In whichever currency I deem works. Okay. So, clusters. Yes, sorry, my apologies. I will just transfer that back in. I was close, but no cigar. There we go. Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. And again, I will just give you access roughly to the gear list. And you can sort that out for yourselves. Accessory for Cosmic Battle Bikini. What the elf? Yeah, I'll definitely give you guys access to the equipment list. Just want to know if... Yep, they really did. They gave you photocopiable money. Oh my god. I would say, why would you have battle bikinis, but... Oh, God. Cat Planet Cuties, that was the one I was trying to think of. There's a sentence that's going to get me on a list. No, and I'm not even reading that one out. Okay, Chrono. First decision. Are you going to be human or are you going to be an alien? Oh, and Robinson, you're going to need to come up with a name. Hey, Shard. Japan themed if you wish. Explanation as to why we're doing this. Would the psionics character be human or non-human? That's going to be an alien. Yeah, you're going to have to be an alien for that. And we may have to do some tweaking. But what the hell. Okay. So you can choose to be near human, not very near human, or real weirdy. As far as aliens go. Basically, can you pass for human in a poor light? or with minimal hairstyling. Near human. Okay. Right. Still weirded out by the fact that ghoulies are in intergalactic currency. There you go, Robinson. You've got a protagonist-ish hero there. I still maintain he's from Shadowrun. Right. Most generic-looking protagonist ever to protagon. You think you're son of an alien diplomat on Earth to get experience with some weird mental powers and abilities to get by. Yeah, that can work. We can work that out. Okay, so near human. Tends to have small fangs, small horns, webbed feet or hair. Webbed feet or hair, sorry. Webbed feet or hands, weird eyes or hair, small tails or pointy ears. Or some combination of all of the above. But they always have something to indicate they're not actually human. If nothing else, how could the audience tell? Anime style vamp. Ooh. Which way am I going? I'm going this way. Not her. There you go. Tiny little fangs and pointy ears. There you go. Small fangs and pointed ears. That's just an example. Okay. Sorry. He's just cool, I have to say. Okie dokie. So, you have 8 stats, which are smarts, bod, as in athletics, relationship with parents, luck, driving, looks, cool, and bonk, which is your hit points. So, you roll a d6 for each of those, and you roll them in order. With the option to shift points around afterwards. Yep, we've had some good ones. Yes, Robinson has a superhuman bonk stat. Eight. Monia, I would not expect you to. Okay. I'm sorry, but I love that. I think it's the caption after the bonking for that poor guy. You like to think your high bonk stat is actually just your super dense skull being impervious to all female advances. Oof. That's a definite oof. What is it with nobody being able to roll a decent bod? I don't get it. I'm getting back. If you roll 6 knacks, I'm just going to panic. I think you're all using the same dice. Okay. So that gives you 5 smarts, 1 bod. You are as unathletic as an unathletic thing that's particularly unathletic. 3 relationship with parents, 4 luck, 5 driving, 6 looks, 1 cool, 4 bonk. You can shift points around with a cap of 6 and a minimum of 1. But let me know. Your driving was 5. Driving 1 cool 5. Okay. Any other changes you want to make? I love the fact that the wussy little baby protagonist, who is as protagonist ever protagoned, is clearly packing the 6-pack under there and has some hefty gym time going on. If you're happy with the stats as they stand, we will move on to knacks. Yeah, you can just shift points around. I wish you hadn't said that, Robinson, because, yeah, he does. Yeah. Okay, knacks are your skills, and like in most... Yeah. Yeah, you can indeed. You can take points off one, lower another. Sorry, add them to another. Huh. Okay, when you check your Ko-fi page to see what's going on and how any donations are going, and holy crap, holy! Okay, Um, hmm. Now to work out what his username will be. Yes. Okay. Alright, sorry, that slightly threw me. Okay, if you're happy with that then, we will move on to knacks, which are stats, which are skills. They are attached to a stat, so it's like Witcher. You will always roll stat plus knack if you've got it, plus a d6. Possibly 2d6. I will check the mechanics. But yeah, it's die roll plus stat plus a knack if you have it. So, possible knacks are listed on screen. They are on page 35 of the PDF if you've got it. They are not exhaustive. You can make up your own knack. You don't even have to threaten to tie-dye my cat because I've got a cat. But first off, you roll a d6 to find out how many knack points you have. Yeah, I'm a bit concerned because the plot is going to involve like bod versus bod rolls, and you're going to get beaten by fish. Okay. That means you can either have 2 knacks at 1 point or 1 at 2. Yeah, finally somebody doesn't roll a 6. Yeah, the fish have life path tables, Robinson. I mean, I'm just loving used to be royalty but was transformed into a fish as an origin. You can indeed. You have the ting power. Okay. So, oh my god, family tragedy for fish. Family exiled from Atlantis. Family eaten by mermaids and only your fish survived. Okay. Yes, dazzling smile with fangs. That's where the ting comes from. Little points. Right. Moving on down. Moving on. Right, now we're into the powers. Now, since you have an idea as to what powers you want, we'll just head down to the table. So you're going to want the telepsychic powers. So, read minds is in the last table. Basically, you pick... how many tables do you pick? Yeah, you pick 3 tables and normally you would roll on those. High smarts and looks are going to get you out of trouble. Oh, you sweet summer child. So, of the... Oh, bless. So, of the psychic powers, you have teleportation. Telemove is telekinesis. Telephone is the ability to talk to anyone, anywhere. By dialing an imaginary phone. And read minds does exactly what it says on the tin. Yeah, I've noticed that, Robinson. It's a weirdie. So, what sort of psychic stuff did you have in mind? No pun intended. Is anybody else just thinking that Chrono's now going to roll Magical Girl? Technically, you pick 3 tables, which gives you a 1 in and then a 1 to 6 roll on each table. But I am happy to let you pick a power and then roll for the other 2. So you're guaranteed to get 1 of the psychic powers since you actually have some ideas. Okay? Seem reasonable? Read minds. Okay. Just for the benefit of the tape, the ability to understand anything someone else is thinking. The problem is people are usually thinking about several things at once all the time. For example, homework, the teacher's dreamy eyes, that plan for ruling the world by controlling the world's toilet paper supply. Each time you use this power, the referee gets to come up with 3 things your target is thinking. He then assigns a value between 1 and 3 to each, and you pick a number blind. No, it doesn't. So, that's actually quite cool. I like that. Well, I'll take one. Okay, you've got bounce. Alright, scrolling back up to the bees. Oh, hang on. Are we doing it in order? Are we ducks? This ability allows you to bounce off any hard surface, taking no bonk and rebounding up to 20 feet in the air. People with bounce are always the life of the party. Okay. And your third roll? They are, Sage, and they missed up with masks. Super strength. Oh my god, you've got a bouncing vampire psychic with super strength. Yep, let's be an anime game then. It means that you're not necessarily going to be able to direct where you're bouncing to. But it does mean you're not going to get fragged when you fall from a great height. Super strength. With super strength, you can do all the comic book weightlifting the average super type can do. If you can get a grip, you can lift it, basically. Right. So, next. Yeah, you can dish it out. Actually, no. Bod is dishing it out, so he's got a decent bonk. So he can take it, but he can't hit. Other way round. He's a swing and a miss, but can stand there and take it a bit. Yes, indeed, Sam. He's got to do some... Shut up. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I don't know why I decided to run this game, except... Oh, dear. I wasn't going to run Witcher. Okay. Actually, I know exactly why I'm going to run this game. It's for the fishing game. This game's going to be clip fodder. This game is going to be possibly stuck in a bunker under 6 feet of concrete. Oh, if it convinces you to run Bessem, that'd be cool. Right. So, you are not human, therefore you don't get the human power. So you have to pick 3 traits that define your teenager. I am doing it for the charity. Big eyes, small mouth. As you can see, if you look at the various anime images, the huge eyes, tiny little mouth. How does she do that in that bikini and not end up X-rated? Seriously. Bondage, ectoplasm, sadism, masochism. That's a very different game. I've only just spotted the one who can monster out, and is presumably the 50-foot tall version, because I've only just registered that's an arm. Charity bonk on Thursday, same bonking time, same bonking channel. Yeah, how to get yourself banned on Twitch in one easy lesson. So, Chrono, dragging this back to character creation, you can pick 3 traits, or you have to pick 3 traits. They can be the ones on the list on page 45, or you can come up with your own. But it's basically how your character behaves. So, suppy you. I do like some of the anime elf ones. I'm just thinking, how come the cat girls have the ears that come up through about 6 feet of hair? How does that work? They must be incredibly long. They're basically Lynx girls. Curious, and you can have... Yep, you are welcome to have a think about the other 2. Oh boy. Okay, so finally, your allowance. 2d6 times 5, please. $55, loaded. Right. I am going to call that done, I think. And I'll finish off Fish's character between now and Thursday. Because it's not exactly extensive. So we've got a cat girl, a not a vampire honest gov, a human with protagonist syndrome, and a octo squid. This is going to be fine. Right. So on Thursday you will be challenged to win the school fishing tournament. That's at Chiron Beta High. With all the fun of the fair. So, I think I'm going to call that for tonight. I wasn't sure if this was going to run an entire stream. So yes, Donations going through my Ko-fi marked up as Roll versus Evil. I will collate all the donations at the end, and then I'll donate. I'll give them all to their Just Giving page on Thursday after the game. And then R Talsorian are currently donation matching if I send them the receipt. If people donate individually, then I have to basically tie their receipts to my stream, and that gets awkward. So this is the simplest way I can think of doing it. Right, thank you very much, and I will see you on Thursday. We'll be starting at 7. I have no idea how it'll go. I've never run this game. It'll be a scream. Worst case, I'll just drown you with a walking whale or something. It'll all be fine. So, thank you very much indeed. As I said, any donations as a result of this, mark them up as cool night. That's fine. Yeah, I apologise for cutting into drum time. I'm just trying to line up as many people as possible. I am very sorry. That it does clash on the overlap. Right. So yes, any donations, mark them up, Roll versus Evil, and I'll know to add them into the donation. Right, so I will see you guys on Thursday, and I will therefore bid you a good night.